I'm Stephanie from That's How I Cookie Coach, and I'm your new cookie coach. I am going to be here to walk you through step by step to make the best cookies you've ever made. We're going to start by getting your ingredients and your supplies ready, and then I'm going to take you through the process of making the dough, cutting the dough out, baking it, and then of course decorating. So first up, here are some of the things that you're going to want to make sure to add to your grocery list if they're not already in your pantry. For the cookie dough, you're going to need flour. Approximately, you're going to want to have about 6 cups on hand. You're going to want to have salt. That's just a little bit. Maybe you're going to want to make sure you have about 2 teaspoons. The baking powder, again about 2 teaspoons. You're going to want to make sure is at least there in your pantry. You're going to need some granulated sugar, probably about 2 cups. Also for the dough, you're going to want to have 4 sticks of unsalted butter. If you only have salted butter at home, that's fine. You'll just pass on the actual salt. And then you're going to want 2 eggs, and then some vanilla extract and some almond extract. Notice I have a couple different varieties here. That's just to show you that it's okay. You can use whatever brand you already have. It can be imitation, it can be pure. Whatever you have on hand, they're going to be delicious. For your icing, you're going to want to have plenty of powdered sugar. You're going to want a little bit of milk or water. And then for my icing, instead of a royal icing, I use what's called a glaze icing. Glaze icing is just a little bit different. The difference is for a royal icing, we use either egg white or meringue powder, and that helps it to set up and harden. Instead, for my glaze icing, I like to use a light corn syrup. They're still going to dry stackable. They're going to dry so that you can touch them. They're not going to be wet or, divot or ruin. But when you bite into them, nice and soft and delicious. Then, you're also going to want plenty of food coloring. I have a couple different choices here to show you that whatever you have on hand is going to work. I have a food coloring paste, your general grocery store food coloring liquid, or a food coloring gel. All of those work great. You might also notice I have a white food coloring paste here. If you can get your hands on it, if it's available, that's great. If not, it's not a big deal. I like to use it in all of my icing. It helps to give it more of a bright white color. It also brightens any of the colors you add to it, but it's not necessary. Some of the tools you're going to make sure you want, of course, some sort of a mixer for the dough. I also like a spatula to wipe down the sides, to scrape down the sides. If all you have is a hand mixer, that will work too, but I like to use my stand mixer. Of course, measuring cups, of course, a baking sheet. I like to use parchment paper on my baking sheet, but if you don't have it, it's not a big deal. You're going to want some sort of cookie cutters. For these extra special Easter cookies that I'm getting ready to make, I'm going to use an Easter egg shape. If you don't have that, go ahead and use a circle. You can either stretch it out or you can use a knife to kind of shape it however you want it. Of course, some sort of a spatula to move those cookies. When we're still in the dough stage, I like to use a silicone mat when I'm rolling out my cookies. That way I don't have to add a lot of flour. But if you don't have one of those, a nice clean counter will do the trick, and a rolling pin. And then for after the baking process, I like to use cooling racks. If for some reason you don't have those, no big deal. They can just cool right on the pan. Not a problem. The last thing I have out are some bowls. You're going to want plenty of bowls and plenty of spoons when it comes time for the decorating. You'll see that we want several options for the icing and the icing colors. And then I also have out some plastic wrap. That's perfect for when you are going to be chilling your dough. After I mix my dough for this recipe, I do like to wrap it up in the plastic wrap, put it in the fridge for a couple of hours, and get it nice and set up before I roll it out. So get ready, get your grocery list ready, get all your supplies out, and get ready to bake with me. Oh, and don't forget, please subscribe to this channel. That's How I Cookie Coach. You're not going to want to miss out on the next steps and other tutorials. Thanks.